Welcome back everyone for the end all struggle, Stranger Things 5 Watch Party! The trailer has dropped and it's a monster. Well, a lot of monsters to be exact. But if we can sum it up in one word, I would say it's epic. Like always, this season is bigger than before, but the scale and scope is beyond anything you've ever imagined. There's some absolutely beautiful shots. For some reason, real beauty on screen has been declining more and more in recent years. There are blockbuster movies with hundreds of millions of dollars in their budget, but that don't look nearly this good. Moreover, from the music to every line of dialogue, everything has the highest stakes possible. Nancy outright says Vecna is trying to destroy their world. That's the highest stakes you can get, and they're doing what they can to put a stop to it. So through all the major events, there aren't a whole lot of actual plot points. The town looks like it's under some sort of quarantine. Vecna is on the move, and the team is putting a plan in place to stop it. But that's about it. That's what we have. However, we can dive a little deeper into what's actually going on. There are clearly two competing plans here. We have Vecna's plan for Hawkins and the world at large. Then we also have the counter plan our heroes are coming up with. While the story will almost certainly focus on the main characters, while watching the show, you should always be aware both these plans are going on simultaneously. They're working against each other. Things are moving on both fronts. Let's start by looking at Vecna's plan. Without a doubt, the creepiest, most heart-stopping moment of the trailer is Vecna at the end addressing Will. Right off the top, it's this. Okay, seriously, he hasn't been called William once in the whole show. Like, even when they thought he died, it was always just Will. A little fun fact, the trailer leaked earlier and there were reviews and recaps before I even watched it, and I saw someone reference the line William. I swear then I thought it was referring to Billy, or William Hargrove. I didn't even think of Will. It's not an accident. It makes Vecna very different from the other characters in the show. It's also like he knows Will deep down. Where did he get that knowledge? Like right off, that is worth wondering. Did he get it back in season 1 when Will is trapped in the Upside Down? He does seem to have some sort of psychic powers. Like he knew all about Max and the other kids back in season 4. Did he just soak up all the knowledge that way? I'm thinking it's more the latter. Somehow Vecna got all of Will's knowledge about himself and everything. There are definitely things that happened back in season 1 we're gonna get answers to. Near the beginning of the trailer, we actually get this shot. This appears to be Vecna walking towards a young Will on the ground. Now, over a year ago, we had this set photo of Noah and a young actor who is obviously playing young Will. I do think the scene from the trailer is what this photo is from. So there definitely be flashbacks to season 1. There are definitely mysteries from season 1 that were never answered. Like what Will was doing all that time. I mean, he was hiding and such, we know, but how long can you hide from Vecna in the Upside Down? But Vecna's taunt about Will helping him one more time begs the question, how did he help him before? And what is this new time he's gonna help him? The obvious immediate answer is somehow Will provided him the power to get started. 11 opened the gate and that's how Will got pulled in. Now, did Vecna need Will specifically, or was he just unlucky? I'm starting to think Vecna needed Will specifically. Maybe something about his personality or mood. That is similar to how he needed kids with darkness in their past in season 4. Will didn't have much darkness. His parents were divorced, but maybe he was just a little fragile? He could be pushed and pulled. That is why Vecna used him then. It's also why Vecna needs him now. The question is, what does Vecna need now? That may be the biggest key to Volume 1. Vecna is after Will. Now, he already opened the rifts across Hawkins, so what else does he need? I suspect he already has what he needs to unleash the Upside Down, but what he's concerned about is 11. He, Vecna, Henry number 1, knows that 11 is the only person who can stop him, and she has the power to. She felt like he was stronger back in season 4, but it's clear she's increasing her powers even more. So somehow Vecna is going to use Will against 11. That is what I think this is all about. Now, is Vecna's plan more about setting a trap for her, or will he somehow use Will as a vessel for his power? I tend to think it's mostly the former, but maybe a little of both. Vecna has to stop 11, and he knows she will come after Will. This allows him to set a trap that will likely play out in part 2. Now, some people think this shot of a person falling could be Will, perhaps when he was first taken, or here. I'm really not so sure about that, but it's definitely a possibility. One thing we do want is Will to be active in the fight against Vecna. He's had that prickly feeling for a while now. He could sense Vecna. He must have some ability to fight back or help the team ultimately come back. He just can't be bait and inactive. This is the season we want to see Will really shine. I mean, he finally has a decent haircut. It is time. Now that's Vecna's plan, which is mostly going on in the background. Most of the show will be focusing on the characters and their plan. There are certainly many parts going on here, each person having their own role. But let's start with some of the most welcome sight. It looks like Mike is back as the leader of the whole campaign. This is just a cool shot. He's putting a plan together. Now Hopper and Elle aren't here. They're practicing for whatever mission this will be, but it has all the main people. He even uses miniatures to lay out the map and setting. He does it again in the forest with just the guys. Whatever this plan will be, Mike is putting it together. This is also why we get that conversation with Elle. She's warning him that he can't just write the ending. The thing is, Mike knows that. He's been through all this so many times for the past 15 or 20 years, just as well as she has. He knows he can't write what he wants. He's seeing things beyond the imagination. If you were cruel, you could think she's talking down to him, like he doesn't know these obvious truths, but I think she's just worried for him. It's also possible he's been using a lot of D&D analogies, so her comment is somewhat in context. But what is the plan? Well, obviously there's multiple parts here. The first part obviously is centered on the radio station. We know there was a lot of filming there and a lot of shots from it. I'm also pretty sure this cool secret underground is in the radio station as well, although it's not really secret. Like, there is a window to the outside, and obviously you can't see this wall from the outside. It actually looks like this. Anyone could reasonably see just from the outside that the room continues, and if you look through the window, you'd see that staircase. Anyway, whatever, stuff is going down here. I suspect the radio station is part of some sort of sonic attack similar to what they did with the music in season 4. This may be to hurt or perhaps attract Demogorgons or the Mind Flayer. It could very well somehow play into the massive battle sequence we see. They need some way to stop all these monsters. There's also a shot of Joyce and Elle in the tunnels. This could be a tunnel in or out of the military wall that is set up in the center of town. It's too much for them to have made it themselves. I suspect it may have been made by Demogorgons or upside-down creatures coming in and out of the world. They're digging their way into a surprise attack. They may try to use it themselves as part of their plan. We see a Demogorgon drop down in front of Lucas, which is probably during or before the big fight. Finding it means they have to act fast to stop Vecna. Now, we see the Mind Flayer or some creature manifesting around the radio tower. I said before, we don't know if this is a trap to contain the Mind Flayer or it's using it as an entry point. I also think this image of the blast from Hawkins' lab is important. What powered it and what is it doing? This could be some blast to seal or close all the open gates. It's coming from the location of the original gate, which may still be the inflection point between the two realities. I strongly suspect this blast is part of their plan, and maybe they're using the tunnels and such to get to Hawkins' lab. That leads us to 11 and Hopper. Obviously, they're the main brunt of the attack. We see them together in the Upside Down and obviously some pivotal moments. And this is why I suspect the radio tower and the Demogorgon fight are all distractions to give 11 a chance to get in and stop Vecna and the Mind Flayer. I don't think she's looking to fight Vecna directly. She did that in season 4 and even then concluded she couldn't beat him. She may have something else in mind, likely a play that could weaken him. Now we know at some point Hopper is going to stay back and Elle is going forward on the attack. This may be one of the coolest moments as Elle takes off in a leap. She's obviously using her powers in a new way. She's probably pushing on the ground, which forces her up in the air. It's a cool consequence of her push-pull powers. There could be some cool scenes early on, with 11 basically experimenting and figuring this stuff out. I'm actually a little curious how she does it, because it's obviously a leap forward we haven't seen before. Either way, a powered up 11 is going to be a haymaker in the fight. This is definitely something you're looking forward to seeing more of. Now, it certainly looks like the big battle of part 1 is going to be the Demogorgons against the military. Probably this is the Upside Down trying to run over the town. If one Demogorgon is an overwhelming challenge, then an attack of many is going to be a bloodbath. As we see a super-powered 11, we also see Nancy in her final form, blasting an M16 in the fight. She's come a long way. While I think the military starts off as a pseudo-villain or obstacle with Linda Hamilton, the team will eventually help them against Demogorgons. That is what Nancy's doing. The question is, how brutal will this fight get? Nancy seems to be having a hell of a season, actually. She's crying in the bathroom and sobbing with Jonathan at another point. There's a lot of rumors about her mom or sister getting captured or killed. It's really going to push her and Mike. We haven't seen any reactions from Mike, but we're definitely getting Nancy with these tough feelings in these moments. We don't know for sure, but obviously it's going to lead Nancy to this moment, and she means business. She's shooting to kill. Is that for revenge? Maybe. This is a lot just for 4 episodes. You can be certain the back half of the season will have far more twists and turns, and it's going to get way more dangerous. I'll be covering everything, so make sure you're subscribed. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.